probably be a little less than 250 if I had to guesstimate.
All right. Yeah, we can do that.
I think, unless I'm doing it completely wrong.
I don't know. Fix on my math.
But yeah, would I be able to? How quickly would I be able to meet up with Thorin?
I'm gonna say after you land and you start sprinting back towards the forest, towards Thorin, it doesn't take too long. It's like maybe a few seconds of just pure sprinting with Longshore in the snow, and you see Thorin emerge out of the forest.
Where's Carlius? What happened?
I just emerge like 50 meters from the tree line, and I just fall to my hands and knees.
I'll like run over, crash down, hand on your shoulder. You alright? Where's Carlius?
Tobias.
Long silence.
I feel like you need some coaching here.
Yeah, just long
Like
silence.
as I say this, I grab your, pull you back. I'm like, look at his face.
How long has it been? Like in game, do I still have my teleport? 20 feet.
How long does it last again?
A minute.
You probably have. If it's a bonus action, so 6 seconds, so you probably have about 2 or 3 more uses of it.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 2, unless you chain all 3 one after the other.
Okay.
Because if you stop to do something, it's gonna be 2.
I need to do some math. Okay.
It's about 100 feet to where Carlius is in the forest. But then he's also in the trees now. But I guess you wouldn't know that.
Yeah. Okay. I like take in the ashen look on his face. Do some quick mental math and then disappear. Start sprinting back into the forest and teleporting.
Oh. Well, back to the battle map.
And I thought you fuckers would just leave me behind.
So I'm like over here, I assume.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit further than that actually, because Carlius will be way back, because that was judging by Thorin. Like, that's not the edge of the forest. So, some 120-ish feet, because Thorin did run a far distance away. Oh, sorry, Thorin. There you go.
Okay. So I've like...
Oh, why am I back?
Just so you can see what happens, I guess.
I can see everything, because we don't have vision cones on this map anymore.
Oh, okay. Alright, see you. Never mind then, I'll move you out. Bye.
Poof.
So I got like 2 teleports before that wild magic ran out, and as soon as that stopped, I've been like burning spell slots to turn into sorcery points, and then once I've got enough, I get my 4th level spell slot back.
Alright.
Actually, I think I can just do that. No, I need to sacrifice 1 more, so... Sorry, this is...
You can hear the mental cogs turning.
Yeah, I'm just like sprinting and trying to do the math in my head. Spend 1 spell slot. Okay, so I'm gonna sacrifice a 2nd level spell slot and get my 4th level back so I can do a dimension door. Okay, and can I see Carlius?
You can roll perception. I'm going to set DC 16 just from all the cobwebs going around, as well as the fire.
Oh, yeah. Hey!
Oh, well, yeah, you actually spot the human-shaped cocoon that seems freshly made. One of the spiders seems to be digging its fangs into it and sucking juices out.
Okay. I think he's definitely probably dead, so there's not much worse I can do to him. I'm gonna...
Although, that said, I feel like Carlius hasn't been ladled enough. There's still a lot of juice. So...
yeah, you see some other spiders start to join in too.
Oh, okay. Can I try and avoid them as I sprint?
Oh, well, what do you wish to do? They are up in the trees, though. I will remind you of that.
Okay. Can I turn myself into a spider? Let's see. Can't change your body type.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
Can I try and like change my skin tone or something to camouflage with that? Okay.
You
Has to have
can.
the same number of limbs, otherwise the extent of the illusion's up to you. Okay. So, oop, sorry, 1 moment.
Oh, good. I will say that probably the only thing that feels bad is Kalius ran the wrong way for that one turn.
He
Yeah,
could have
that's
made
all
it
it was.
if
Yeah,
he,
that's
if he
all
just
it was.
ran. If he ran instead of throwing the fireball,
Just that
He
one
would have
turn, he
survived.
ran to the east, and then he came back that same 20 feet, and basically didn't move for that turn. But anyway, now that you're back, Tobias.
Yeah, I'm gonna use disguise self to try and. I don't change my skin tone. I just like make my whole body look. I can do 1 foot shorter, so I'll do that as thin as possible and change my coloration to be like blend into the ground as much as possible.
I'm still like 300 feet away.
Yeah. Tobias did a lot of teleporting.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Alright, so you change your color to look sort of like the floor, like the snow.
Yeah,
Alright.
just like little things that'll hopefully add up to make me harder to spot.
Yep. Sure, go for it.
Then whole turn sprinting towards Kalius.
Yeah, you continue to get closer and closer. The spiders don't seem to take any heed of you.
Is he on the ground or is he like suspended?
Suspended in there, and like the spiders are walking all along these giant webs that go from tree to tree. There is
How
still a
far
raging
up?
fire though.
How far up is he?
I think I set the minimum heights of trees to be around 70 feet when they started, so at least 70 feet.
Okay, from back here, I'm going to chuck a fireball into that group there and hope that this like burns him free to drop to the ground.
Not a bad idea. You can do so. Okay, let me just see.
And I'd like to do subtle spells so I don't have to say anything or make
Yeah.
any obvious movements
That's
to
all
do this.
good. As you're about to do so, though, can I also get you to roll initiative?
Just as a side note, upon learning of Kalius' death, could I just like start charging back? And
You
just
can
how
do so.
long it takes me to get back? 'Cause
You
these
have
spiders need
60
to
feet,
die.
right?
Yes. And I just want to get to the point where I'm either within 600 feet of these spiders or I can see them, whichever comes first.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
I'm also going to start moving back with Longshore, but I move at 80 if I'm sprinting.
Alright.
I just want to get as close as I can.
Alright.
Now that the whole crew's back, I don't feel as scared.
So all the spiders don't see Tobias throw his fireball, but the one with the 5 will. So you throw that, and then they have to roll their dexterity saves. I'll do that advantage so I don't have to roll a million times again. Okay, thanks, Roll20. Okay, what's your DC again? 16. Literally none of them make it. So a good chunk of... Oh, okay, so you see 3 spiders immediately turn to ash and they die. Kalius definitely does start to be incinerated within the webbing. Various body parts start to drop to the floor, sort of without any liquid inside it, and even now it's being evaporated by the fire. So you throw your fireball, it becomes the spider's turn. They sort of screech, and then they start running off in various random directions as the trees are now on fire. And Kalius drops to the floor.
It's flat.
And then, yeah, just No splat sound because there's no juices left and the spiders run away.
How long has it been since he died? It's been like... How many rounds did it take Tobias to get here? 3?
And then he died. At least 40, maybe 50 seconds.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, so the spiders run away and it becomes Tobias' turn.
Okay. Oh, I might just be able to make it.
You move half of that. For a good
idea.
reason. And you can roll a perception for me. You see as Carlius is sort of laying on the floor, ground coming from the east sort of like ripples towards him, almost as if something's burrowed underneath, and then it starts to rise where Carlius is laying. Being that close, you can see that his body is severely mangled, missing a good portion of his arms and legs, not from the spiders, but more from the fire, despite the fact that he's a tiefling. Just the lack of fluids inside really makes him easy to char and burn. And then from the ground around Carlius rises, and you see like this huge face of this snake, where its tongue sort of slithers out towards you. Then very slowly and very cautiously, you see all the other spiders start to leave this general area, and then the snake brings Carlius towards you. I don't actually have a snake token. Imagine there's a huge fucking snake right now. And then Carlius is laying dead on top of the head of the snake, and it's right about there, and it looks at you. It just goes...
We're really pushing the time limit, so I have no time to be...
Yeah, you've got
like,
10 seconds to
about
get
this.
back
I
to me.
keep sprinting, jump, and just try and get like a hand on Carlius and...
Oh man, this snake
teleport
is
us back.
huge. Yeah,
Can I
huge.
like gesture
It's sort
for
of
him
like
to like
towering
drop it?
over you.
Can I try as I'm running? Can I like gesture? That's a big snake. Can I like gesture at the snake to like try and get him to drop it?
Okay, you can do so. I will roll for the snake to see if it understands. Can you do a quick check? What's insight for? Is it wisdom or in charisma or
Wisdom.
intelligence?
It's wisdom.
Can I just ask as well? I know I'm still probably a few hundred feet away, but
You would definitely see the snake.
yeah. So just let me know when it's my turn to do something.
Well, what do you wish to do? Because we're not actually in combat order.
I would like to roll survival at advantage because it's a beast to try and communicate with it
From this
in
far, you
whatever
can't.
way I can from that distance.
From this distance, you can't.
Not verbally.
I mean, if you're gonna shoot at it, I don't know if it's a good idea.
I'm not going to shoot at it.
Alright, no, fine. Just tell me what you want to do and then roll.
I just want to communicate to it as best I can from a distance that we're not threats.
I think it's already past the point
Yeah,
of
I don't
assuming
think
that
there's
we're not
anything you can
threats.
do about that.
Yeah, that's fair. Never mind.
So the snake rises up in front of Tobias, and then you hear this sort of like the sort of sound of some of the fire touching the sides of it, and it sort of like winces a tiny little bit and sways off to the side. As Carlius's body starts to fall towards the floor, you can give me a acrobatics or athletics to... I think you said you wanted to touch him so you can get out of there.
Yeah, I just need a hand on him.
Yeah, so you can do an athletics or...
Acrobatics.
Yeah, one or the other.
Definitely better at acrobatics. Gonna
Oh.
inspiration point that.
Thank God. Can Carlius give up his inspiration even if he's dead?
Is that enough?
That's not good enough.
Oh.
That's
Can you
that's
just, like,
a tax
land
there,
on me?
Caleb.
Alright.
I don't care if he lands on me.
Now I'm gonna have to get you to roll initiative again.
Can Carlius use his
Carlius is dead. Oh yeah, no, he can totally do that. Carlius, do you wish to give Tobias your inspiration to save you?
Yeah, why not?
If you said no, I would have been so triggered.
13 is your DC, by the way.
Okay.
It's not that hard to touch someone who's falling down.
Random number god who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hey!
Okay,
Took 5 rolls, but we got there.
you leap towards Kalius, and the second that you lay a hand on him, you see the jaws of the snake wide open, slamming down on you. But before it snaps shut, you teleport out of there.
Okay. And I want to teleport. Did I catch a glimpse of Thorin behind us or something? When?
Oh, isn't this dimension door?
Yes. Oh wait, can I just name a person?
I think so.
Dimension door. There we go. One you can visualize. I visualize Thorin and just appear at his feet.
Revivify! Slam both my hands down on his chest.
I'm just reading. Hold on. Now, the other question that I would like to ask is, Kalius, how much do you weigh and your equipment?
I weigh,
Significantly less without limbs and stuff.
yeah, and juices and stuff.
Can you just give me the full weight and I'll do my...
My living weight was 75 kilos. How tall was I?
Can you
5'5".
say in pounds because that's how this game works?
So that's 165 pounds.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And what's
yes,
your equipment?
Wheeling. So
Oh, sorry.
I'm happy to leave behind stuff to get the weight limit.
The problem with that is you probably won't be able to take off his armor or his equipment or like his backpack in the time that you're going to
teleport out of my clothes and stuff.
Just cut off his head.
Oh yeah, he just appears naked in front of me with his dead Kalius.
So yeah, 75 kilos. And how much equipment do I have? I have a lot.
Lot of
actually,
it missing.
That is
Sure.
true
Leather
because I've got
and your knives and your bow will be
Yeah.
burnt to fucking
1,
cinders.
2,
Oh, fucking rip bow.
19. About 30 pounds worth of gear.
Oh, that's not very much at all.
Oh, actually,
That's
hang on. Let me work that out again because I'd also have my bow.
Dude, just look at your inventory. It should add it
I
up.
haven't, but I haven't included all the weights. That's the problem
Why not?
because I'm shit at data
It
entry.
is a valid question. Like, how do you know whether you're incumbent?
I've got like 4 daggers, so there's 4. The leather armor is 15, so there's 19.
Okay.
Friday.
So
This, kids,
I'll,
is why you input your weights.
I'll take away some of your body weight just from missing limbs and stuff. And I'll be a little nice here because I feel like I killed you a lot with Freya's little... Anyway, Tobias, you eventually touch Kalius and then you reappear pretty much right next to... I did move you to the world map, did I not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. You appear next to Thorin because I think you said you could designate who you choose. And
Yeah, I can envision a place. And I
you
just
plopped right down next to Thorin. You do so. Now, Kalius, you do come back to life, but there is a huge caveat to this.
Yep.
You're missing a good significant chunk of your limbs.
Yeah.
Which limbs is he missing?
Well, guys, we broke even. We are now at the we are at the amount of diamonds that we should have purchased. So all of that until now has been free.
Tobias just like falls down and starts like panting. And probably shaking a bit because that was freaking terrifying.
Is he stable? Fleshless legs, fuck. Can I dump some healing into him to make him?
I feel like the most
easier to
important
move?
question we should ask before we go further is the question to Chris.
Do you want
AKA
to be like
Wags.
this?
Yeah, do you want Kalius to live like this, or would you rather just scrap
To be
him?
honest, the fleshless
Honestly,
legs.
if I was you, I'd rather just die.
Yeah. Look, the barely able to move part of it for an
There are
assassin.
because everyone sort of lived in this world, there are ways to restore you, but the question is out of character whether you want to put the time into restoring your character. It's up to you.
To be honest, probably not.
Well, I feel like is it fair to ask out of character? Like, is that going to take like how long? Like
Hmm.
a whole session? Like within the next 20 minutes?
It's probably going to be one of those things where I'm going to at least allow you to move and fight as like to some degree, but obviously there's going to be a lot of penalties to that. And then over time, you'll start to get better and better. So I'm saying probably 3 sessions, something like that. So it's up to you whether you can deal with
like that,
3 sessions of...
as a party, find someone who can even possibly restore them, and then we don't even know the cost.
Yeah, it's something you'll have to figure out, but I do have stuff in plan. It's just... out of character, it's definitely probably going to get maybe 2 or 3 sessions.
Yeah.
You can probably still fight, but at severe disadvantage. But because you are so close to the trident, it's up to you if you want to spend the next 2 or 3 sessions getting your guy back. It's possible, just it'll take time.
And that's fair enough, but I'm just thinking what the cost would be in terms of gold cost. Like 1,000 100 GP, 1,000 GP between getting limbs back and healed and that sort of thing.
Also out of character, knowing your character's background, the second you step into the trident and you're in this condition and you really try to get your guy back, aside from gold cost, it might just come in the form of depths, like from favors and whatnot. Just knowing the connections that you have.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I might just rebuild, I think. Might just be easy to keep track of and everything like that.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So I do appreciate that you're putting the effort
just
into
out of character.
Yeah.
Before you die, given that Logshaw still very much wants to take your place at the Assassin's Guild.
Wow!
Just saying.
Ruthless.
Now, see,
Well,
what you should do.
But see, the reason I mean, I can say it in character. Like, if Callius wishes to die, I'm happy to put him out of his misery.
Typically, the way I do resurrection, as I've done with Tobias, I think, as you're being revivified and you're like in this limbo state for Callius, you have the choice of quote unquote going towards the light and passing, or coming back towards the real world.
Yeah, it doesn't say in
okay.
the spell description, but all of these resurrections requires willing.
Yeah.
Just out of character, if you're worried about playing like a gimped character, I can polymorph you into your ideal self.
That's right. What the fuck?
Like, at least while it's needed.
Polymorph Callius into normal Callius.
Aiden's head like turns so quickly, you can see like a compression wave moving through his head. Like, you can what?
Like, he's not conscious. I'm not like saying this in character. I'm just...
Since when
you
can
don't throw
bards
your
do that?
character away. It's an option.
I just like to remind you, Aiden has, like, since I've come back, has seen literally no evidence for you no longer being a bard. Like, I know you're a sorcerer now. Aiden has no idea. It's like, wait, you can what? You could have done this whole time?
Like, I'm not saying it in character because there's no way to bring it up in character. I'm just...
Yeah. So it's up to Callius if you want to... It's up to you what you wish to do.
No, I might just leave it and just rebuild.
Oh, good.
That's fine. But look, again, thank you.
So, Thorin,
I do appreciate it.
You try to revivify Callius, yet the remains of his body does not seem to respond.
Can I tell that it was unwilling? Or can I tell that it was unwilling, or do I just feel like the spell didn't go off?
Would you have used the diamonds?
Oh
even
yeah,
if
for
it
sure.
doesn't
Well, I
work.
need to. I
Oh,
need
okay.
to even attempt it.
Then Kalius, you're unwilling, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, you feel that it's definitely unwilling. It's like you're pulling his quote unquote soul back into his body, but it's just like no.
Okay, so I can tell that he's unwilling.
Yeah. Which after Freya's thing might make sense.
Yeah. Thorin just kneels down and just looks down at Carlius's body, just totally speechless.
Tobias, like,
sprinting desperately across the.
Tobias, like, recovers from exhaustion, like, sits up, looks over to you, and says, well,
Thorin just turns his hands and looks at his own palms, and his hands are shaking a little bit.
Just by the way, any moment for Aiden to arrive and be involved in this emotional moment.
You're there. He teleported back.
I thought I was still sprinting across Battlefield towards.
No, we're all together.
He teleported
Oh.
to Thorin, and you guys would have been together.
I am emotional.
Tobias is just uncomprehending for a bit. Then gets up and walks a bit away from the group, like frustrated pacing back and forth.
Does Kalius have like a dagger that he openly wears at the moment?
Asian's dagger, I imagine.
Yeah, he's got quite a few daggers hanging around.
Also, I just take one
Uh.
at random and like stick it in the ground behind him. Just like, did well, my friend. Did well. Yay, 700 GXP. But you did well, my friend.
I'm genuinely sad.
Yeah, so am I.
Because I can picture the moment that caused it. Just that one round of running the wrong way.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've seen a character death in a long time. It's heavy.
Yeah, it's a good stopping point.
We can stop there if you guys want.
Yeah, that's probably as good a place as any.
Character does well. Well, that's our lot. Our night's fucked. Okay.
I mean, as soulless as this sounds, I can't order search him for any information about the Assassin's Guild.
I think just a closing statement. Thorin gets up and just walks off to a nearby tree, and his fist literally just explodes with flame, and he just fucking punches as hard as he can, probably breaks a couple knuckles, and just goes ah! And just screams.
I mean, I feel like if like Kalius is well and truly dead, yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do now. There's no spells can bring back an unwilling character unless I want to turn him into a zombie.
I feel like unless we want to, because I mean, Wags, you're gonna make a new character for next session, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I feel like if we're gonna do Kalius dying, we should finish that this session, as in like bury him and such.
Yeah.
Because if we do it at the start of next session, it's not going to have anywhere as much meaning.
Point.
up to you, Mr. DM. Do you reckon?
Oh,
able to stick
if
in
you
there a
guys
bit?
want to do that, I'm totally fine with that. I just gave you a new character sheet, Wags.
Oh, thank you. Cheers.
Because I would like to see Kalias off properly,
Yeah, that's fair.
and not really like as an afterthought a week after we've gotten over the shock of losing Kalias. Just like, oh yeah, we just stick him in a hole and anyway, let's move on because Wags has a new character and let's move on with the session.
Yeah.
Now, okay. So, I didn't want to, because I was supposed to introduce this some other time, and I didn't want to kill the mood of it. But based on what I have been going for, exactly this is going to happen, and everyone who is alive can roll perception.
Ignore the advantage.
Okay. Thorin and Aiden, you can suddenly feel sort of like a disturbance in the air. Tobias, you're still sort of like recovering from the shock. But then this happens to Tobias, seeing as you're the person who has this. You sort of like, you feel air get sucked into like a small area behind you. And as you turn around, you hear this thunder clap. Everyone does. And in its spot, you see this lich just floating above the ground
Do I recognize it?
immediately. Then it floats forward towards the body of Kalias as though completely ignoring each and every one of you.
But sorry, not to. But is there something I should recognize, or did I miss
No,
something?
I don't think your character came across this at all.
Oh, so this happened while I was in France.
Yeah.
Do Thorin and I recognize it?
Yeah. You know, it's very much the same looking lich as the quote-unquote real Olava.
Yeah, it's the Olava's
From the dream.
impersonator.
He floats effortlessly towards the corpse of Kalias.
When he starts approaching it, Tobias whips out his wand, like a bead of fire appears on the end and just steps between it and the body.
Yeah,
He
Thorin,
speaks,
side by side.
I can kill you with a snap of a finger. But I'm not going to. I think we have seen enough death for today.
Agreed, so why don't you just turn around and go back to wherever you came from?
He flicks a finger, then everyone hears just this whimpering coming from behind you.
I look down at Kalias.
From his chest, it sort of rises above the ground a little bit, and he starts to levitate and float in the air. Still laying down, but he makes a bit of noise.
Can I do an Arcana check? Is he like being like?
Oh yeah,
Is he being undeadified?
You can roll Arcana for sure.
Being a cleric, can I just be like that? This is the process of creating an undead.
You immediately
Do I
know
get
it's not.
Okay.
He's not being made
Aiden,
undead.
Just being Aiden, other than like be out of character, being tactful about this, do I have any reason not to shoot at this thing?
In character, no. You have no reason not to shoot at this thing. You don't even recognize who this is.
It's probably worth noting that Tobias, despite like putting
Tobias
on
and Thorin would
a
know.
brave front, he's absolutely terrified.
Like, given that one of Aiden's closest friends has just been eviscerated and his corpse has been humiliated, and now a fucking monstrosity as far as Aiden's concerned attacking it, I'd really see no other course of action other than to target it as my prey and shoot at it.
Alright, you roll initiative, and I'll roll it for him too.
I'm sure this is a terrible idea. But, like, I just have no reason not to.
Yeah, which is fair. And in that regard, I would also like to give you inspiration because it's like, hey, Yeah, you get where I'm going for.
Am I
Thank you.
am I too scared to move, seeing as I've had some fucking terrible dreams with this
You can
thing?
roll a wisdom save.
Okay.
Anything above a 15. Otherwise you are
Should-
feared.
I should
I
be
mean,
alright.
like even out of character, I have no idea what the fuck's happening. All I know is like some fucking monstrosity is going for my dead friend.
Are my saves popping up? Oh yeah, I'm fucking fine.
Oh yeah. You're still able to move. But as
Alright,
Aiden draws his bow, do you wish to do something to interrupt this? If you do, you have to roll initiative too.
I can't not back him up.
I should mention, because I'm sort of shell shocked with Kalias having just died. It's not like it's not like when we were in the initial dungeon where Aiden's mind got broken. Where I'm like, oh shit, fire! I'm just like, you son of a bitch! Like
Yeah.
slowly
Mhm.
raise my bow,
No,
grab an arrow, very deliberately draw it back.
Thorin's immediate reaction is, I will not let you take him.
Yeah, I'd like to drop into initiative, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please roll your initiatives too. Okay, Thorin acts first. What do you wish to do at the sight of this?
So everybody's starting to react now.
Mm-hmm. I just try to keep this running in my head. Theater of mind time.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with theater of mind.
Alright, so Thorin.
Yeah. So his body is lifting off the ground, right?
Mhm.
I turn around and grab the body and don't let it move. I want to hold it in place. I'm not going to let him take it.
That seems fair. You can roll strength. Anything above a 12.
No.
You try to grab onto the remains of Kalias, yet his burnt and charred flesh just slips away from your grasp. And his body starts to float towards... I guess it's a Valo now, so... And who comes next? Oh, he does actually. So you try to hold Kalias' body back, yet it continues to float above your head towards Avalo. He places a hand on Kalias' body, and then in a flash of purple light, disappears with him. And it ends. And Aiden, you let loose your shot, and it sort of careens off into the
Wait,
distance,
just
missing it.
rather than just doing that, because I mean I'd be letting loose my shot just as he disappears, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would scream as I release my arrow, because you know, like up until this point, when it was like really meant something to Aiden, he's like
Yeah.
screamed, "May the mother guard my arrow."
Yeah.
I'm like, scream, "May the seventh guard my arrow!"
Oh, I'm sorry, can you start that again, and this
May
time
the
in English?
seventh guard my arrow.
Uh,
Like screamed.
all
and
I
then
heard was
launching it-
seventh, and all the rest of it was... blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, like may the seventh guard my arrow! And I loose it as hard as I can at where he was, I guess.
And it just goes... and catches nothing. And Tobias, you're unable to react in time before he disappears.
So as it misses, I just collapse to my hands and knees and scream inconsolably.
I had my wand raised pointed at him, and he's disappeared, and I just let it lower. The ember on the end goes out, and I'm just gonna just for flavor, can I be, because my concentration is a bit shot,
Mhm.
can my magic be going a bit weird, like wild magic stuff?
Oh, yeah. Totally. Go nuts.
Do you want me to roll for that?
Yeah, I was actually going to ask earlier, but you never actually used Tides of Chaos this time, right? So it's just going to be a 1d20?
No, but I think I'm probably afraid enough that it's happening.
Ah, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, like emotion going. Yeah, gotcha. Go
Yeah.
nuts. Go for a 1d100.
If you
I
turn into
really-
a pot of plant, this is going to be so fucked. This is going to immediately kill me.
I'm so angry. Just-
Like you're so angry that like some random villager 3 miles away burst into flame.
I'm like breathing heavily, and I realize that I can't stop what's going to happen, and I like quickly pace away from the group before it overflows. 65. Okay. Suddenly there's like, what's the weather like? Like clear, cloudy.
Somewhat snowing. A little bit cloudy now.
I like pace away from the group when I feel the energy welling up, and then without any warning at all, how many is it? 3 bolts of lightning crash down from the sky and set a bunch of trees on fire.
You add to the forest fire.
Just going to put this with the other fire.
Yeah, and I'm just away from the group, trying to get under control again.
Alright. And as everyone sort of like turns their attention towards Aiden, you see your eyes start to pulsate in rage. What happens?
So as rage sort of slowly overtakes me at the not just like the sadness of Carlos being gone, but the inability of any of us to prevent it. As I just sort of like hyperventilated rage, you can see like spreading out from my eyes. Just my veins are like pulsing with purple, and like sort of in like sort of sequence of like, like you know, like you see someone tense their muscles and their veins pop out. Like you see that all over my body as I scream, like with war taint.
So you're going Super Saiyan.
Somewhat, yes. That's all.
Oh,
Yeah, that's good. I like it. So a moment of silence for Kalias.
Thorin's just looking at his arms slicked with like charred bits of skin and blood from having tried to like grab him, and he just looks frozen in place. His face has gone pale, his eyes are wide, and if you were close enough, you'd be able to hear him just muttering to himself, just couldn't save him, just over and over.
After a moment, I'm going to start hacking away at the tree to carve out an impromptu gravestone.
You do so.
That may burn down at some point.
We need something. We don't have a body. We need some.
Only the dagger remains in the spot that you stabbed it in the floor.
I'm going to carve his name into the dagger. And then stick it back in the same spot.
I could fashion the dagger into something we could
leave
wear
it as
to
it is.
bring with us.
No, leave it as it is. It was his dagger. You should just carve his name into it and leave it. Says Aiden to the other 2 living players, hoping they might respond.
I'm away
Thorin
from
hasn't-
you guys. So.
Thorin hasn't moved. He is frozen in place, swaying slightly on the spot, just looking at his arms.
Well, taking the lack of response, I slowly lift the dagger from the soil, carve Carlius and the date into it, and stick it back where it was.
which in character you would know that is the 29th of Death Moon.
Thank you. And as I stick it into the ground, I whisper a silent prayer to the seven. And in my prayer, I hope that Callias is forgiven for his treachery.
To be fair, I think there's a god for everyone these days, isn't there? So it's not so much you get forgiven, you just go to whichever heaven suits your character.
Yeah,
or
but I mean,
suits
keep
your
in mind,
cause.
if my character gets his way, then all the other gods die. So
Touche. Please,
that's
Please
the
continue.
nicest thing that my character can do for you.
please continue.
And you know, kind of gives me a reason to keep going the way I'm going.
Yep. But that was more of an out of character, obviously out of character.
Yeah,
But it was
because
more of
in
a
character currently, all you can do now is
Decompose.
is
Yeah.
that too soon or?
no, never too soon. Honestly, I think Jacob's taking this a lot harder than what I am.
I'm taking it pretty hard.
Me too. I'm sad. I'm hugging my
it's-
dog so I don't cry.
See, Wags is used to this because he has another group where his DM is an absolute cunt lord. But this is the first time in a long time I've seen the player die. It's sad.
Yeah.
Actually, which was the last character death we've had? I think it was me as well.
See, that didn't really count. Let's not talk about that now because it's too funny.
That's true. Yeah.
So, like having carved Callias' name and the date of his death into the dagger and plunging it back into the ground, and having said my prayer, I look sort of expectantly at the cleric, and as far as I'm concerned, Bard. Like, would the two of you like to say something?
Tobias is probably like wandered back at this point. Not gonna set anything on fire accidentally anymore.
When I say expectantly, I look more expectantly at the cleric. But it was like,
Yeah,
so,
how is the cleric looking?
so
There's
cleric,
just-
would you
there's
maybe
just-
like to say something?
There's just images going over in Thorin's mind of first meeting Callias, him saving, like Thorin saving Callias, Callias saving Thorin, fighting on the front lines, talking to each other, fucking around. That proper good moment of connection that we had in the border crossing. There's just images and images and images just playing over in his head. And just the same line over and over, just I couldn't save him.
So just Aiden puts a hand on your shoulder and says with a shaking voice, "It doesn't matter what God, it doesn't matter what you say. Just say something."
Just slowly lifts his head and blinks a couple times, coming back to reality.
I wipe a tear from my eyes to say that.
Can I have the dagger?
I gesture where the dagger's in the ground.
I just go over to it and I just crouch down and I put my hand on top of the pommel. I just close my eyes and bow my head. This shouldn't have happened. I should have been able to save you. Fuck. I miss you already, guys. Please, wherever you've gone, please just be safe.
Could I roll insight, Thorin? Like just to see if it, like just given what you just said, you're not fully within your cleric capacity to be like ashes to ashes and so on.
Oh, there's no insight roll there. There's like tears rolling down his face, and like now that the shock and sadness is worn off, there is like flames starting to lick up from inside of his armor and billowing out into the open air.
Okay, so taking that then, I'm gonna like sort of walk up next to Thorin and ignoring the flames, put a hand on his shoulder, and just be like, "From the earth you came, and to the earth you shall return." May the seventh guide your spirits to freedom.
May Ennio shield you in the afterlife.
Farewell, Kallias. And I bow my head. Partially to disguise a tear falling to the earth.
Tobias is just watching on, like, grim-faced. Doesn't really have anything to say, but his own experiences, having died and almost like slipped beyond the veil before he was yanked back. It's like reliving that, and doesn't really have a positive like message to spin from his experiences. It would just ring hollow. So he's just being silent and trying to give you to let you find peace in whatever you say and whatever rituals you do. But to himself, he's just thinking about how none of it makes any difference.
Can I just say add a character? D&D is fucking like, I am genuinely sad.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, I've had to like sit back with my head tilted back, facing the roof, just to like, I refuse to cry. I refuse to cry. I refuse to cry.
Yeah, like
Kallias was fucking Thorin's best friend, and they were like, they chat all the time and do tons of stupid
yeah.
stuff. They'd
I
fuck
mean,
around with
like,
each other. And that
Wegs-
moment in
Wegs
Border
will know what
Crossing
I
was
mean
what
by this,
nailed it
'cause,
down for the Thorin Kallias friendship thing. That
Wegs will know
Border
what I
Crossing
mean by
moment
this
was
because we just watched it the other night. But has anyone seen Grave of the Fireflies?
Oh man,
Yeah.
no.
yeah.
This shot's for you, Kallias.
Oh man. I feel like the worst part of this is we can't even bury him.
No, fucking Thorin's priority list has shifted very dramatically in the last 15 minutes.
I mean, without metagaming, this is Aiden was sort of teetering on the edge between chaotic evil, chaotic neutral. This is chaotic evil. Rest in peace, Kallias.
To Kallias. Well,
So,
I feel bad that I'm not actually saying anything.
I mean, you are dead.
Well, I mean, to be fair, man, everything being said is about you.
And I
no
actually
offense,
can't
but this
get
is
that out of my
better
head.
than like your own eventual funeral. So enjoy it while you can.
This is a valid point, actually. I will shut up. Or not shut up, but you know what I mean. I will accept this.
Sorry, guys. I saw an opportunity to be mean to Wegs. I took it.
That's good. I actually can't get that image out of my head. That Border Crossing where Thorin sat down next to Kallias, and Kallias was like crying and freaking out, and he just sat there and talked for a bit. And that proper man, fucking Kallias was Thorin's best friend. Fuck.
Yeah. See, are you saying that in character?
No, but it's not like a sit like you would
please
know.
do.
Okay, Thorin's like, he was my best friend.
Because I was like, man, I remember him saying how he wanted to change his life and get away from his past. And I was going to take his place. He never got to see freedom.
And that's it. Thorin's bawling, open sobbing. That was it.
I think we just stay here for a bit.
Yeah.
I think
as
now.
much as this sucks, Wags, would you pipe down?
We're trying to have a moment here.
Yeah, like come on, man. I know your character died and everything, but
There's no excuse to fucking talk than mine.
So selfish.
Yeah.
but I feel like this is the demonstration why this is the best D&D group I've ever had or ever will have. Just because we're all genuinely upset by this.
Oh, my fucking face is hot. I feel like I'm gonna cry.
But I think it's also a sign where you can separate as, like you can have that separation where you give each other shit, but at the same time, you're still loyal, both in game and out of game. Just when you've got that group that you can give each other shit and still go, still have that friendship, and that's when you know you've got a good group going, just in general. And it's hard to find.
I need more alcohol.
We should never stop playing D&D together.
Alright, I think that is a good point to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, awesome. Thanks for playing.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for DMing.
Despite Wags dying, really good game.
Yeah, that was another really solid game.
And honestly,
Man, we were
notwithstanding,
so fucking unprepared for that.
yeah.
We were just gonna
I think-
waltz in there, find a snake, leave, and then it's just like,
Yeah.
oh god.
Well, I need to give Wags a hug and a drink.
I'll be
I'll see
fine
you
with the
guys.
drink.
You're getting a hug whether you want it or not. A hug's I'll
The
see you
drink
guys.
is predicated on the hub. No worries,
Alright.
guys. Have a good night.
Have
eh?
a good night, guys.
See you guys.
Good blue.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.